Stress. Closest I could come to is a woman getting attacked.
In a jaw-dropping twist, Expedition Bigfoot has been abruptly canceled following a horrific incident that has sent shockwaves through the community.
Holy! I've just heard something really big run past me, but I can't see anything. Yo, there's something over there.
In this video, we'll unravel the shocking details behind the tragedy that unfolded during filming, exploring how it shattered the team's pursuit of the legendary creature. You won't want to miss the exclusive insights and behind-the-scenes footage that will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end. The investigation starts at a far-off and eerie location where nighttime upsetting noises have been recorded. The team's closest description for it sounds like a lady being attacked. These sounds serve as a sobering warning that the location could be hazardous, an outright kill zone. Looking around, a major finding begs more questions than it answers. In the past, a tree was observed to possess something distinctive.
Where is it? Wait, hold it. We're right here. Look.
Nevertheless, it is currently sitting completely bare. The unexplained disappearance of whatever had been dangling from the branches has increased the level of stress and urgency around the investigation. A sense of unfathomable dread is experienced by one. Someone or something appears to be reaching out, as if engaging in some form of conversation that is not visible to the naked eye. A surprising discovery of fresh bones in the vicinity causes the team to tremble in fear. Since the crew is aware that they are not alone, the presence of these bones adds an additional layer of potential danger to the surrounding environment. Maria Mayer is in charge of the research, and she is expressing both excitement and dread when she talks about it. The recent actions that Maria has taken have prompted her to investigate the possibility of a Bigfoot migration, which is a theory that would assist in explaining the peculiar occurrences that they have encountered. Together with her close friend Russell, Maria investigates the intriguing hypothesis that Bigfoot is involved in migration. The researchers are looking into the factors that could be driving the organisms to move from one habitat to another. These discussions have some basis in reality. Migration might be required for a species like Bigfoot to continue existing. This would enable them to look for more favorable environments in which to raise their young and to track down a source of food. That movement patterns are not only random, but also absolutely necessary for the survival of the species, is implied by the fact that this gives rise to additional rumors concerning the existence of multiple generations of Bigfoot in the area. Russell hypothesizes that the animals may have relocated to the south in order to find food and resources that would allow them to provide for themselves and their families. The time also suggests that there is a possibility of a breeding season, which would require Bigfoot to relocate to safe and resource-rich locations in order to raise his progeny. In the event that this hypothesis is accurate, the group might have discovered not just one or two of these critters, but perhaps an entire family of them. In later years, the discovery of nests lends credence to this notion and furthers the investigation. A significant breakthrough occurs when the team come across a collection of nests, which could be evidence of Bigfoot's presence in the area. When people make discoveries, they are filled with awe and wonder. When it comes to the possibility of discovering such an important piece of evidence, the team is really thrilled. They are aware that nests such as these might potentially provide a much-needed insight of Bigfoot's behaviors and preferences. One of the most important realizations that they have is that it is possible that these animals are using the region as a safe haven for the purpose of raising their young. Considering the fact that the nests are of varying sizes, it is probable that both adult and juvenile Bigfoot are present. In light of the fact that the smaller nest is most likely intended for a youngster of the species, the notion that it is a breeding location is supported. As a result of this discovery, the researchers are beginning to contemplate the significance of the region not only as a migration route, but also as a location that is crucial for the continued existence and growth of a new generation of Bigfoot. When the group continues to investigate the nests that they have discovered, the implications become much more significant. They are curious as to whether or not these species are traveling to the area specifically for the purpose of reproduction. Russell makes the observation that a species that is looking for food and a secure environment for its young would find the timing and location to be ideal. There is a possibility that Bigfoot will rear its young in the optimal setting, which is discovered in the dense forest with a lot of supplies. They take into account the possibility that the location might serve as a seasonal breeding habitat. And as a result, Bigfoot's migration path is organically incorporated into the scenario. Given the abundance of food and the natural cover that is present, the location satisfies all of the conditions that are necessary for the survival and effective reproduction of a species. They gain a deeper understanding of how Bigfoot might fit in with its environment, as well as the significance of migration and specific habitats to the long-term survival of the species as a result of this. Russell goes to a place where animal skin was seen hanging from a tree branch.
I'm standing right in front of this log. I'm looking at the same tree. There's nothing. Whatever was hanging is now gone.
This is where the strange investigation starts. This important piece of proof used to hang almost 20 feet in the air, which was a very high place to put it without breaking any branches. It's crazy that the skin is gone. The tree looks the same as it always does, but the scary thing is no longer there. When asked what was hanging, Russell says, "Whatever it was is now gone." This mysterious disappearance makes the team wonder a lot of things. They came back to claim the skin. Was it the animal they were hunting? How did it get taken away without leaving any clear signs that it was there? Russell and his co-workers look all over the area but can't find any clues. The skin being peeled off looks like it was done on purpose. Like the thing they are following is always getting away from them a few steps ahead of them. As the group continues to examine it, the negative atmosphere in the forest continues to worsen. In the distance, the trees can be heard making sounds that resemble footsteps, rustling leaves, and screaming. The fact that the sounds are always present, but not particularly loud, is unnerving to the members of the team. Russell, in particular, begins to experience a gradual decrease in his level of comfort. From the shadows, it appears as though something is keeping a close eye on everything that they do. He speaks with an increased level of concern, stating that whatever it is moving at a far faster pace than I am able to walk in this jungle. One gets the impression that they are a hunter. Despite the fact that the deep woodland makes it difficult for the squad to move swiftly, the entity that they are chasing does not appear to care about moving quickly. As time passes, the sounds gradually recede further and further until they are no longer audible. The squad is aware that they are not the only ones in the forest, but the tension continues to rise despite this knowledge. All of the members of the team meet together to discuss the unusual and terrifying events that have occurred up to this point. They discuss the information that they have gathered regarding the unusual sounds, the skin that is missing, and the terrifying presence that appears to be following them.
The explanation would be that that was most likely Bigfoot.
But then there was these two gentlemen who told me about this Bigfoot behavior.
It is still exceedingly challenging to cope with the animal skin that was hanging so high in the tree because it was so heavy. How did it get there in the first place? What is more essential is the manner in which it was eliminated without leaving any trace. Russell and his group are engaged in a struggle to discover what is taking place. In the beginning, they were under the impression that the item they were following was not as intelligent as they had believed it to be. Its ability to avoid getting into trouble and leaving behind very little evidence is evidence that it is both intelligent and dangerous. However, despite the fact that they do not yet possess any answers, the group is resolved to continue their search. The group is following a tree that has fallen, and out of the blue, they come across an ancient house that is empty. Despite the fact that it appears to have been constructed in the 1940s or 1950s, the structure is in remarkably good condition for its age. In spite of the fact that the house has not been inhabited for a considerable amount of time, the walls, roof, and floor are all still intact. The team is left wondering who built the home and why it was abandoned in such a distant location when they view it for the first time. The group discusses the possibility that something happened in the cabin at some point in the past. Why did it decide to withdraw? Do you know where its people went? When they discover the cabin, it brings an additional element of uncertainty to their investigation. In order to avoid the elements and any potential dangers that may be present in the woods, the group makes the decision to spend the night inside the house. Due to the fact that the eerie atmosphere of the cabin makes the rising anguish even more severe, the decision is not made without a great deal of consideration. The team comes to the conclusion that staying in the cabin is their best option for staying safe throughout the night, despite the fact that it gives off a menacing feeling. They choose a log chamber where they can view the sole way in and out of the room, and they do so with their backs to the walls. It is essential to maintain a state of alertness. In the event that they are both facing out, they ought to be just okay. The squad is aware that they must remain vigilant throughout the night, since there are unknown dangers emanating from the outside world that make the situation even more unstable. While they are preparing their sleeping place, the team discusses potential threats to their safety. Since the unknown danger is still in the woods, they are aware that they must maintain a state of heightened awareness. As the night progresses, the tense atmosphere within the hut becomes even more uncomfortable with each creak and rustling sound that occurs inside. A startling loud bang tore through the calm of the night, which shook the squad out of their uneasy sleep and jerked them awake. A piece of wood has been pushed out of one of the windows in the cottage, which causes them to be startled and search for the source of the sound. They discover something that is unsettling. Because of this unexpected turn of events, it is now abundantly clear that something that is not seen is either observing them or maybe posing a threat at this moment. The group trembles in response to the realization. The group is now of the opinion that whatever is out there is aware of their existence and may even be interacting with them in some way. Once appearing to be a safe refuge, the cabin now gives off the impression of being more of a trap. During the time that they are getting ready for whatever may take place, the squad is significantly impacted by the presence that is not apparent from the cabin. As the evening progresses, Russell and his colleagues are becoming more and more convinced that they are being outwitted by something that is both brilliant and lethal. Whatever form it takes, the creature looks to be watching, waiting, and just out of reach while many steps ahead. Despite their determination to find the truth about the strange events they have witnessed, the team feels anxiety and doubt as they prepare to investigate. Despite his concerns, Russell is determined to keep learning since he believes there is still plenty to learn. As they prepare for the next leg of their investigation, the group knows they must stay watchful, since whatever they are looking for is also pursuing them. It appeared the beast was mocking them. The team realized they needed to move because they were in the wrong place. After the harrowing experience, Russell and his co-workers decided the cabin was unsafe. They rushed to pack and depart without stopping. The feeling of being watched intensified as they left the hut, yet breathing fresh air offered respite. They were nonetheless attentive and mindful of their surroundings. Russell contemplated the unsettling happenings of the evening outside the cottage.
A lot of people said he found so much evidence. He was outside all the time, and he found prints here and he found prints there, and he has that well-known video.
He stressed the significance of being vigilant when traveling to new places. Russell felt unsafe in the cabin due to its limited area. They seemed bothered by a large, maybe dangerous item. Russell was determined to continue his study and thought they needed a vast open location away from ambushes. The team then noticed a strange smell. Their handheld equipment and adjacent drone started acting strangely at the same time, taking readings outside the intended range. As their readings fell outside the range, they were even more convinced the place was special. Ronnie gestured toward the team and encouraged them to persevere while identifying the spikes. Since whatever left the aroma was nearby, the squad was worried. It may have walked into the forest. They tried to identify the fragrance and strange signals despite their nerves. The crowd gasped in horror. They found an abandoned building site near a lake that made the sound. The team arrived to find the unnerving noise continuing. The frightening sound of a lady being attacked increased their fear. As they listened, they sensed something ominous. The group discussed their findings and speculated on the disturbance's explanation. Given their distance and the hostile sounds, they considered Bigfoot participation. They were afraid because whatever beast they found on the mountain was more deadly in its natural habitat. Realizing they were in the creature's area was worrisome. Men expressed the gravity of the subject as the video ended. They warned others to be cautious and aware of potential dangers. Since understanding the threats they encountered was crucial, the team decided to conduct more study. Russell encountered a surprising sight as he went further into the forest. A deer leg half buried in the weeds teeming with flies. The discovery was terrible. The air smelt like meat decomposition. Clearly a modern kill, the leg disturbed. When Russell witnessed the violent sight, the forest's horror overpowered him.
Made in the early 1970s, the Sierra sound recordings are touted as the gold standard of evidence for Bigfoot language.
Rib cages, spines, and skulls of deer lie on the forest floor, revealing a predator's feeding territory. A kill zone was evident with so many artifacts in one place. The cluster of bones proved a predator existed. The team was hunting and feeding in its region. Russell and his colleagues found 7 or 8 animal corpses. It was uncomfortable and thought-provoking. Never before had they seen this. Russell's curiosity kept him investigating the terrifying situation. Old bones and fresh remains indicate a busy hunting location. Russell was conscious of the risks. They seemed to be walking across a dining table. It felt like encroachment. The squad walked cautiously because they were in a predator's area. Their hunt remained ongoing, and the answers may lie in the woods. The scene is eerily still as the investigation concludes. Determination persists as the crew approaches the place like a crime scene, careful not to get too close, but desperate to disclose the truth. This is not the end of the solution search. As promised, future episodes will return to this mysterious site to update and analyze the strange events. As darkness approaches, the group is uneasy about what will happen. As they await, their faces show excitement and fear. Fear of encountering dangerous species like a mother grizzly bear protecting her young increases stress. Even more interesting is the prospect of meeting Bigfoot, the creature they had been hunting for so long. The gang finds several broken branches while searching the deep underbrush. Break patterns suggest a major regional event occurred lately. Their curiosity and terror conflict as they strive to determine the cause of these aberrations. As they approach the river, the party remembers a footprint found there before. As they prepare to explore the earth, they become more excited. The river's tranquility is particularly scarier because it contrasts with the event's ferocity.
Dozen or 2 people that have seen Sasquatches in this area. One fisherman found footprints. They were about 13 inches.
People claim that when they consider the many places animals and other evasive creatures could go, they decide they can. Air appearance changes drastically. After some confusion, a tree knock is heard across the jungle. The scenario alters completely. Tree bangs often accompany Bigfoot sightings, which spike adrenaline. This sound is unusual. Bigfoot encounters usually involve tree knocks. Team members wait in quiet, awaiting further action. Outside observers may be present. Thermal imaging is activated when searching for life. Shortly, a heat signature will appear. Things are becoming more crucial. Thermal scans detect distant motion. Even when black, the eye shine sparkles brightly, drawing attention. The whole time, their steps are quiet and methodical as they prepare to approach cautiously. They're approaching the unknown, and stress is rising. Thanks for viewing our Expedition Bigfoot cancellation coverage. Like this story? Subscribe for more updates on your favorite shows and intriguing puzzles.